Ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn, cancel your therapy session, and call your nosy aunt, because what I'm about to tell you makes the Kardashians look like a Sunday school field trip. This isn't just drama, this is Shakespeare. If Shakespeare had Instagram and a felony charge, the Harris household has officially gone nuclear. And the fallout is hotter than Kris Jenner's PR team in crisis mode. Picture this. King Harris Yesti's son, the self-proclaimed Prince of Chaos, gets slapped with an arrest so messy it makes mugshots trend harder than TikTok dances. And before the ink even dries on the police report, T.I. decides to pull the ultimate plot twist, disowning his own son faster than you unfollow your ex after they post vacation pics. That's right, Papa Harris has officially hit block on real life. But wait, because tiny queen of patience, survivor of scandals, just said, boy. Bye, divorce papers have entered the chat. And they landed harder than a Drake diss track. This isn't a family fight. This is a reality show season finale on steroids. Secrets, betrayals, and enough shade to block out the Atlanta Sun-eats all here. And trust me, you do not want to miss this circus unravel. So let's set the stage. Because this isn't just a scandal, it's a Greek tragedy sponsored by TMZ. You've got T.I., the self-proclaimed king of the South, a man who's built a career on rhymes sharper than divorce lawyers' pens, now watching his empire wobble like Jenga blocks after a toddler's tantrum. On the other side, you've got King Harris, his son who clearly thought royalty meant free passes to chaos. The arrest hit the internet like a Kardashian pregnancy rumor instant trending topic. Memes faster than you can say Mugshot Mondays. But let's rewind, because the build-up to this disaster is almost as juicy as the arrest itself. King Harris, let's be real, has always lived like he was starring in his own VH1 spinoff. Instagram lives that felt more like unpaid auditions for love and hip-hop. Tattoos, tantrums, and a fashion sense that screams trust fund rebellion. He wasn't just walking down the path of controversy, he was sprinting, barefoot, with fireworks strapped to his back. Then, boom, the arrest. Allegedly, our young prince decided the streets needed a remix. And let's just say the remix flopped harder than a Lil Pump comeback tour. The details leaked faster than OnlyFans passwords. And suddenly, every blog from Shade Room to your grandma's Facebook group had the story. King Harris wasn't just in handcuffs, he was in headlines. And you could practically hear Atlanta sighing in collective embarrassment. And here's where it gets wild. Instead of circling the wagons, instead of the classic family united against the world PR play, T.I. goes nuclear. The man who once rapped about loyalty suddenly decided fatherhood was optional. He cut off King faster than Netflix cancels your favorite series after one season. Sources, because we always gotta have sources, claim T.I. was heard saying something along the lines of, "He's no son of mine. That's not just tough love. That's eviction notice energy. Imagine it. Your dad is one of the most respected rappers in the game. And instead of bailing you out, he's bailing on you." Harsh. Absolutely. Entertaining. You bet your trending hashtag it is. But the Harris Drama Factory wasn't done. Oh no. Tiny the matriarch, the ride or die who stuck with T.I. through scandals that made Maury episodes look tame, decided she'd had enough. Divorce papers delivered like a plot twist written by Shonda Rhimes herself. Rumor has it Tiny didn't just file, she threw in enough irreconcilable differences to fill a Spotify playlist. Translation: she's done playing referee in this circus. The internet, of course, lost its collective mind. Comment sections turned into digital gladiator arenas. Half the fans were screaming, "T.I. did what he had to do," while the other half were like, "Sir, you raised him like that. Don't pull a Houdini now." And then there were the meme lords, turning mugshots into mixtape covers, divorce papers into season finale posters. Honestly, the creativity was unmatched because nothing fuels the internet harder than Celebrity Family MELTDOWNS.N. Can we talk about how timed this all feels? One minute King is arrested, the next T.I. drops the disownment bomb, and right after that, Tiny files papers. It's almost like the Harris household has a group chat where they plan drama, like it's content drops. Okay, y'all. Scandal rollout Tuesday at noon. Memes by 3 p.m. Public statements by Friday. The background to this mess is a saga in itself. T.I. and Tiny have always been the couple that looked like they could survive anything cheating scandals. Public fights, reality TV cameras capturing more chaos than therapy sessions could handle. But apparently, the combination of King's arrest and T.I.'s cold response was the final straw. Tiny, the woman who's put up with enough drama to qualify for sainthood, suddenly decided she was done being the Atlanta First Lady of dysfunction. Divorce papers weren't just paperwork, they were an explosion. So the question everyone's asking, why now? Why cut off your own son in the most public, dramatic way possible? Some say, I was trying to teach King a lesson. Others think it's about protecting the brand. Because let's be honest, hip-hop royalty is only fun when it looks glamorous. Once your kid starts trending for mugshots instead of mixtapes, that crown starts slipping. And for T.I., image has always been the empire. But here's the real tea. Disowning your kid doesn't make you Father of the Year. It makes you look like you're running PR damage control with parental abandonment on the side. And Tiny filing for divorce at the same time. That's not coincidence, that's strategy. That's her saying, I'm not going down with this sinking ship. I'll be over here sipping my divorce settlement money. The reactions within the industry are the cherry on top. Rappers who usually don't even tweet sober were suddenly philosophers. One said, this is what happens when clout becomes your co-parent. Another chimed in with, protect your legacy, but don't torch your bloodline. Translation: everybody loves to sound deep when it's not their kid getting cuffed. And you know what makes this even juicier? The silence. Because while the internet was on fire, King Harris himself went ghost mode. No IG lives, no rants, no half-baked freestyle about loyalty. Nothing. Just silence. Which, let's be honest, is louder than anything he could have said. Because when your own family disowns you, what exactly do you post? A selfie with the caption, "Still royal though." By the end of this first wave, one thing was clear. This wasn't just a scandal, it was a Harris family implosion of epic proportions. The arrest was the spark, but the disownment and divorce were the fireworks show. And the audience? Oh, we were front row, phones out. It's refreshing timelines like it was the Super Bowl halftime show. If you thought the Harris family explosion was messy already, buckle up, because this next wave of chaos makes the Real Housewives reunion look like a church bake sale. Once King Harris mugshot started circulating like free Wi-Fi, the internet didn't just react, it detonated. The memes, the hot takes, the think pieces written by people who can barely spell Harris. It was all flooding faster than a Kardashian. Photoshop scandal. First came the memes. King's mugshot got flipped into mixtape covers, GTA loading screens, and even one meme where somebody photoshopped him into a Scared Straight episode with the caption, "Coming soon to Bet Plus." Savage. Yes. Accurate. Also, yes. Then someone else dropped a side-by-side of T.I. in his prime in King's mugshot with the caption, "Expectation versus reality." Hip-hop Air Edition. It spread like wildfire. And even celebrities who usually stay quiet couldn't resist reposting. Speaking of celebrities, the Peanut Gallery had a field day. 50 Cent, never one to pass up free comedy, allegedly slid in with a shady Instagram story. "Damn Tip, you really said son, who?" Snoop Dogg. He chimed in with his usual uncle energy, saying something cryptic like, "Family is family. Nephew, just need guidance." Translation: y'all messy, but I'm not trying to start beef today. Meanwhile, Charlemagne the God was on The Breakfast Club practically salivating over the topic, calling it one of the wildest family scandals of the decade. And honestly, he wasn't wrong, but the wildest twist wasn't from the memes or the rappers, it was from the public outrage. Because while half the internet was clowning King for catching charges before catching platinum hits, The other half was dragging T.I. like he just ghosted a group project. The hashtag bad dad tips started trending, with people accusing him of abandoning his son for the sake of his brand. Tweets like, "You raised him." Tip, don't act brand new now and imagine disowning your son, but not your mixtapes that flopped, went viral. The internet had officially turned on the king of the South, and then came Tiny's divorce bombshell. Oh, the internet was ready for this. Screenshots of divorce papers flew around like leaked album tracks. Suddenly, everyone was a legal analyst. Did you see the wording? Irreconcilable differences. That's lawyer code for boy. I'm tired. One viral TikTok compared Tiny's move to Beyoncé, leaving Destiny's Child mid-tour. Shocking. Dramatic, but ultimately iconic. Now here's where the plot really twisted. Rumors started swirling that Tiny wasn't just fed up with T.I.'s disownment of King Sheed, been quietly stacking receipts for years. Alleged DMs, screenshots, late-night club sightings. The kind of receipts that make Starbucks look like amateurs. The whispers were that Tiny had been sitting on this divorce card like Uno reverse, just waiting for the right scandal to slam it down. King's arrest. T.I.'s cold-blooded response. Boom. Reverse. Divorce papers on the table. Meanwhile, King himself became a walking ghost story. No IG rants, no half-baked SoundCloud drops, nothing. Silence, which only made the memes louder. One popular thread called it the curious case of the vanishing prince. Another compared him to that one cousin who disappears at family barbecues. After starting a fight over the last chicken wing, the more he stayed quiet, the more people speculated. Was he grounded by life? Did T.I. actually cut off the money tap? Or was he secretly planning to come back with the world's pettiest diss track? And let's not forget the pop culture comparisons. Commentators started calling this whole mess the hip-hop royal divorce. Others dubbed it Game of Thrones, Atlanta edition, with T.I. as the fallen king, Tiny as the queen who finally snapped, and King Harris as the reckless prince who tanked the dynasty. One meme even put T.I., Tiny, and King's faces on a Succession poster, with the tagline, "Who will inherit the mess?" HBO should take notes. But beyond the memes and celebrity clapbacks, the scandal exposed something deeper. How messy celebrity parenting can look when played out on social media. People started dissecting old clips of King arguing with his parents on Instagram Live, calling it foreshadowing. They pulled receipts from old interviews where T.I. bragged about being a strict dad, only to clown him now for basically ghosting his kid. It was like the internet had turned into unpaid forensic psychologists, diagnosing the entire Harris family with chronic drama disorder. And then, because, of course, there had to be another twist, the rumors started spiraling that this entire scandal might actually help King Harris. Yep, you've heard that right. Some PR experts popped up on YouTube and TikTok saying King could flip this arrest and disownment into a career launchpad. Their logic: if 6ix9ine can turn snitching into streams, King can turn this into sympathy clout. Translation: mugshots sell. Now, was this idea crazy? Absolutely. But did it gain traction? Oh, you bet. Suddenly hashtags like #FreeKing started appearing. Not because anyone wanted him freed, but because people smelled a comeback album. The internet doesn't care if you're messy, it just cares if you're entertaining. And King Harris, whether intentionally or not, was providing enough entertainment to power a reality TV spinoff for 3 seasons minimum, and through it all, T.I. and Tiny stayed mostly silent, letting the circus run wild. Which, of course, only fueled the speculation. When celebrities don't talk, the internet talks for them. One TikToker claimed T.I. was secretly planning a Talal interview. Another swore Tiny had a Netflix documentary in the works titled From Escape to Escape, The Tiny Story. Were these true? Probably not. Were they hilarious? Absolutely. By this point, the Harris scandal wasn't just a news story, it was the internet's favorite soap opera. Fans were binge-watching every tweet, every TikTok breakdown, every shady Instagram post like it was streaming on Netflix. And honestly, with twists this wild, you couldn't blame them. Arrests, disownments, divorces, celebrity reactions, memes, this was scandal buffet. And everyone was eating. And yet, as juicy as the chaos was, it left one burning question hanging in the air like a cliffhanger. If this is the middle of the story, what on earth comes next? So here we are, the dust settling over Atlanta, like the aftermath of a fireworks factory explosion. And the Harris dynasty looking more fractured than a Kardashian friendship. The arrest was the spark, the memes were the gasoline. And now we're left with the smoldering ruins of reputations, relationships, and a family brand that once looked bulletproof. Welcome to the aftermath where everyone's scrambling to pick up the pieces. Or at least pick up a sponsorship deal. Let's start with T.I. Because the man at the center of this storm has managed to turn King of the South into King of Awkward Family Dinners. His reputation as the tough but wise father figure torched. Fans who once quoted his lyrics about loyalty are now dragging him for pulling the eject button on fatherhood faster than a bad feature verse. The word on the streets, and by streets, I mean Twitter's, that T.I. looks less like a stern dad and more like a brand-obsessed CEO protecting his stock price. In other words, cold, calculated, and about as nurturing as a cactus in the desert. Brand-wise, though, that's where things get tricky. Some argue he's smart cutting ties before his son's mess sinks the family empire. Others think it's the dumbest move since Blockbuster said no to Netflix. Because let's be real, hip-hop is built on authenticity. And nothing screams inauthentic louder than ditching your own flesh and blood when the cameras roll in. It's a PR gamble. And the dice might just come up snake eyes down now. Tiny? Oh, Tiny. For years, she was the definition of ride or die, sticking by T.I. through scandals, rumors, and enough TMZ headlines to wallpaper a mansion. But the divorce papers, that was her mic drop. Suddenly, Tiny went from loyal wife to independent queen, reclaiming her crown. Public opinions swung in her favor like a wrecking ball on steroids. Memes crowned her Atlanta's Beyoncé, walking away from chaos with her head high and divorce settlement looming. Some even compared her to Angela Bassett in Waiting to Exhale, strutting away from the flames of her marriage with a smirk that said, finally. The ripple effect didn't stop there. Fans began rewatching old episodes of T and Tiny, The Family Hustle, like they were detective documentaries, searching for clues. Every side-eye Tiny gave T.I., every argument with King suddenly became evidence of a family doomed to implode. YouTube channels churned out 10-part breakdowns. TikTokers made conspiracies trend. And let's just say, the rebrand of Tiny from background player to queen of the narrative was complete. And then there's King Harris himself, the man-boy at the center of this circus. Arrested, disowned, memed into oblivion. What does the aftermath look like for him? Well, one word: opportunity. Because if clout is the currency of the internet, King is suddenly a billionaire. Mugshots sell, scandals trend, and redemption arcs. Oh, they print money. PR teams are probably circling him like vultures, whispering, turn this into an album. Drop a documentary. Make merch out of your mugshot. And you know what? The internet would buy it. But reputation-wise, King now wears a crown of controversy, and whether he flips it into a career or sinks under the weight of memes is up to him. The silence so far has been deafening. No posts, no interviews, no clapbacks. Which in today's world of oversharing actually makes him more mysterious, more meme-worthy, and weirdly, more marketable. In the aftermath of chaos, silence might just be his most powerful move. The industry's reaction to the fallout is equally chaotic. Rappers, influencers, and gossip bloggers are all jockeying for the hottest take. Some say King is the new bad boy of hip-hop. Others say he's the spoiled poster child of what happens when fame raises your kids. And then there are the philosophers of Twitter, typing essays about generational trauma in between reposting memes. Everyone has an angle, everyone has a hot take. And the Harris name is trending daily because of it. But here's the kicker. The public perception of the Harris family as a whole is now forever altered. Once seen as a slightly messy but ultimately aspirational hip-hop dynasty, they now look like a reality show family whose scriptwriter just resigned. T.I.'s credibility as a father figure, shaky Tani's image, elevated King's reputation. A mess wrapped in a meme. Together, they've gone from hip-hop's first family to Atlanta's most dramatic soap opera, and let's be honest, the internet is loving every second. The long-term consequences? Oh, they're juicy. T.I. and Tiny's divorce could spiral into public battles over assets, custody of younger kids, and who gets to keep the reality show royalties. King could try to launch a rap career off the scandal, only to be forever branded the mugshot rapper. And the Harris name could either become a cautionary tale about fame, or the blueprint for how to milk chaos into clout. And yet, even in the smoldering wreckage of this scandal, the Harris saga leaves us with one undeniable truth. We're hooked. Because, let's be real, this isn't the end. It's just a season finale. There will be sequels, spin-offs, redemption arcs, and maybe even reconciliation tours. Today, it's arrests and divorces. Tomorrow, it could be memoirs, diss tracks, or even a family therapy special on OWN, with drama this juicy. You know, another plot twist is just around the corner, so as the world watches the aftermath of King Harris' arrest, T.I.'s disownment, and Tiny's divorce, mic drop. One thing's for sure, the Harris dynasty may be fractured, but they're more entertaining than ever. And in the currency of internet culture, that's worth more than platinum records. That's worth more than platinum records. And there you have it, folks, the Harris family saga that makes reality TV look like a church choir rehearsal. We just witnessed a father disown his son faster than a bad mixtape gets deleted off SoundCloud. A mother slammed down divorce papers like she was playing Uno with the devil. And a son who turned a mugshot into the most viral family portrait of the year. If your jaw isn't on the floor right now, check your pulse, 'cause you might actually be dead inside. But don't you dare click away without dropping your 2 cents. Was T.I. right for cutting off King? Or was this the coldest Father of the Year rejection since Darth Vader said, "I am your father"? Was Tiny a queen reclaiming her throne? Or just tired of refereeing Atlanta's most dysfunctional royal court? And most importantly, do you think King Harris can flip this scandal into a full-blown career launch? Because, let's be real, stranger things have gone platinum. Smash that like button like it owes you child support. Hit subscribe like you're serving divorce papers to your own toxic ex. And ring that notification bell like you're alerting the neighbors to the hottest scandal on the block. Because on this channel, the drama never sleeps, it just reloads. We drop scandals hotter than a Wendy Williams side-eye, juicier than a Shade Room comment section, and more unpredictable than Kanye's Twitter feed. So stay tuned, because if you think this was wild, wait until you see what's next. This has been Expose Express, serving scandals straight, no chaser. Until the next bombshell drops, keep your tea hot, your shade sharp, and your popcorn fully stocked.